the blueprint is what's going to give you that fortitude and that vision and the instructions on how to build this massive generation. I hear at the point, then you got to go back and go get that point, because you're building something here with the Ten of Wands. And then we also have the Fool card. You're building something. You are literally building something strong, something mighty. So you got to go back and get those details down from the higher spiritual realms, but it will manifest into the physical courts. Instead of tearing ourselves down, tearing the world down, degrading people, separating people, categorizing people, and bring it to a 10, a completion, then we have a fresh start. Hello everyone, this is Ashley for FD 1111 Ministries. This is the weekly word, a timeless message, okay? So whenever you run across this message is for you. So with the weekly word, this week's Sabian symbol or energy for when I'm recording this is in the 13th degree of Virgo. And that Sabian symbol, a strong hand supplants political hysteria. Another reading of this is a powerful statesman overcomes a state of political hysteria. And I thought that this was very interesting because before I looked that up, I had these cards that came out. Just ask. Matthew 21:22, the payout. And one energy, clarity. Think for yourself. That's what I hear. Think for yourself. Don't think for others. And the thing that I found very powerful about this message is that I went back and I read the surrounding verses around this specific verse. So this specific verse it states, whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. What I really like that ties in with the Sabian symbol is that Christ was inside of a synagogue. The elders and the high priest came to him and asked him, whose authority, pretty much what authority do you have to be in the temple teaching and healing others? So, Christ gave them a parable. They couldn't answer the parable. And he gave them another parable. And basically he was saying that those with a pure heart, those that really seek after truth and really seek after the truth of God and really live that truth of God, the all, that they will inherit heaven. Of course, heaven is a state of mind. Okay. And they didn't understand it. They thought it was hypocrisy. So this Sabian symbol is right before the 14th degree of Virgo. And that degree, that's where we have the new moon happening in the sign of Virgo. And that's on the 6th. And that Sabian symbol is a family tree. All right, so going back to the 13th degree of the Sabian symbol, where we have that strong hand supplants political hysteria. So that supplants means replace. Hysteria is a state of mind. If you want heaven on earth, heaven, earth is the body, earth is the temple, you have to have that state of mind. So supplants is a strong hand. It says a strong hand. So a hand that gives, a hand that takes away, a strong hand, a mighty hand. So many leaders all across the board feel like they have the power over the masses, over the world. So you can take that how the way you want to take it, how deep you want to go with that. But like the parable, like how in the scripture, the elders, the rulers pretty much of that time, they thought that they had authority over the people, over the masses. They were taking their strength, taking their stature to rule over people, to keep them suppressed. So a strong hand can either uplift someone or suppress them. But this strong hand supplants. So it replaces the mass hysteria, the mass suppression, and replaces that mindset, that strong hand. So a strong leader has a strong hand. It has the strong hand to lead and guide, to help, to uplift, to edify. And with the following Sabian symbol, a family tree, that strong hand, instead of uprooting something, instead of tearing down something strong, instead of tearing down others, that strong hand planted a family tree, replaced all of the weeds, all of the things that could block that seedling from growing, and it replaced it with something strong and sturdy. That air energy is those that can think for themselves, those that are tapped into their divine will, their divine power to build something strong. And by having your own mind, that when you come together and join forces, we have here the Ten of Wands, and join forces together, that we make something great. 1, air energy, 9, payout. That's another 10. See what else. And then we have 4, the 4 of Swords. So resting. Here we have a resting energy, 4 of Swords, and then we have a action-oriented, driven energy with the 10 of Wands. We have the Fool card, and then we have here the 5 of Wands. So I hear like this message I've been getting for a while about a division, the Hermit card in the reverse again. And then we have the 5 of Cups upright. The 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. So like I've been hearing for a while about a divide in the collective. And this divide in the collective from the entire human population to the collective, as far as those that are here to help humanity awaken, help humanity move forward, that there is still some type of division. And this division can be politically managed. And this division, it doesn't have to be like a division like two people that are, or two groups that are going against each other. But this energy can be 2 different ways of how to view the same idea. The 2 of Pentacles. This could be going back and forth. That's what they really want. They want to project this going back and forth. The friction, lack of unity, lack of clarity. But if we tap into that alchemy, that strong hand that supplants, transmutes. We can even change that word with transmute. With Hysteria, that's divine chaos. That's infinite potential. And with that infinite potential, we can take and transmute our situation, our world, all around us, taking a negative, quote unquote, and transmuting it into a positive. So even if you look at things from a different perspective, this is nothing but a spectrum from one end to the next. If we take the viewpoint of the left, the viewpoint of the right, we don't have to battle each other. We can balance, we can work in harmony. And with this going back and forth and trying to cause all these different divisions, that if we choose to take that higher level of consciousness and unity, that we can work together to build. We have here the 10 of Wands, a new world, a new promise I hear. So think about this, where we have the 5 of Wands in the reverse, the 10 of Wands upright. 5 is half of 10. So if we take that energy, that force, instead of tearing ourselves down, tearing the world down, degrading people, separating people, categorizing people, and bring it to a 10, a completion, then we have a fresh start. If we only perpetuate the ideas of our forefathers, of those that built things, they also built a lot of division into humanity. So the seeds that were planted before, some of those seeds fell on dry land, and the sun scorched them. This is another parable from the New Testament where those seeds that were scattered, the farmer went out, scattered seeds in hopes of growing a crop. Some of them went to the wayside. The weeds choked them out. Birds ate them. For others, some fell on rocks. Like the sun scorched them. All these different things that happened to the seeds, but some of them really took root and grew and flourished. So I feel like with this Ten of Wands and with the Hermit card, as well as with the Fool card, this is a new opportunity to move forward. This is a new opportunity to grow something new. So those seeds, all of those other three categories of seeds that were choked out, some way, somehow, that we have the new opportunity of growing something completely different. A vision that a lot of our forefathers had. A lot of our ancestors had. With that, I hear willow. One thing. Willow is like weeping, but willow is also a healer. Willow is a mage. Willow is also a sacrificer. So willow bark is something that is used to remove pain. But I also hear about the widow that sacrificed. We have here the Five of Cups and the Hermit in the reverse. The widow that sacrificed. So that could be someone's ancestor, but I really feel like overall that's like divine feminines from generations before that sacrificed, and through their sacrifice and their obedience that we are living out their future. In the future that they saw, like their vision. Let me explain that. Like the vision that they had within that Hermit in reverse is like the vision of the future and like their future self. So it's an aspect of our ancestors that still live within us, and we are living out promises that they could see and feel, but they didn't have a chance to physically live it out for themselves. And this is piggybacking off of this divine feminine ancestor energy that has been coming through very strongly. So I do encourage you guys to check out all the journal prompts that I have on the blog post. They are attached to Virgo season, Leo season, in the moons, but a lot of those are building upon one another. It doesn't really matter about if it was a new moon or if it was a full moon or what season it is. You think that God, the divine, even our ancestors are held by time. No, it's more so like a cyclical thing. It's more so like, did you get the point? If you didn't get the point, then you got to go back and go get that point, because you're building something. Here with the Ten of Wands, and then we also have the Fool card. You're building something. You are literally building something strong, something mighty. So you got to go back and get those details, because those details in the plan, the blueprint, is what's going to give you that fortitude and that vision and the instructions on how to build this massive generation. I hear it's some new birth coming. It's this familiar energy. I have here the gift of giving and 111 miraculous events. I believe that miraculous events came out in the last weekly word, or either during the new moon reading that's coming up as you're watching this. But it's something miraculous that's happening. And this same kind of energy is sort of like has been whispering, and it's been two or 3 years. It was this other like Lionsgate, but it was also a Cancer moon a couple years ago. If I can find it, I will have it listed down below. And every so often this vision still comes up, and it was the globe or the earth with a blue glow around it, and it was like, I kept hearing the word hemoglobin, and then it was like sifting them, and I wasn't shown or knew who them was, and I still sort of kind of don't. I mean, there can be theories about who them are, but they were searching people's blood. They were like, I don't know if they were looking for a specific blood type or if it was something in the blood, but they were searching the blood, and they were searching for something. But out of this energy that keeps on playing in the background. So I'll keep you posted about it and see. But with that blue glow around the world, one thing is about, it's about satellite energy, and it's about a rebirth. It's also something about recycling, like heavy earth energy, like getting more back to healing the earth. Like the earth was healing itself. With that blue glow, it was healing itself. And with that healing of the self, it was some shaking, some rumbling. This was all around in the same time I had this masculine channeling about the earth giving birth. Like it was moaning and groaning, and it was giving birth, like birthing something new. And out of that newness, it was a lot changing in the world, a lot. And physically, like naturally, like the earth shifting. And it was literally a blue glow all the way around the world, like as if someone put a neon blue glow around it. And it is something about recycling too. I don't know if it's recycling energy or recycling like how we know recycling, or like it was also like a veil, and that veil transforming. The Five of Cups and the Four of Swords, like that veil transforming. Like things that are hidden are not going to be hidden. So this could be truth coming out of the higher collective. I say higher collective, I'm talking about like more like political figures, political doctors I hear, explorers, lawyers, something in the legal field, something changing in that field. Something that was unattainable and unaccessible will become accessible to the masses. It's something to do with medicine or information about medicine, if it's not the actual medicine itself. I don't know. This is something a little different. Whenever I go to do messages, I sort of leave myself open, not to really focus on just the collective, like whatever the message, the prominent message. It may just be for one person, but I feel like this is something, it may not happen. I definitely know it's not going to happen this week. It seems like something that's going to span for a little while. That's typically how it is when it has a specific message, or a message that deals with so much change and revolution. I hear, yeah, definitely when I look at this, I see revolution. Something I was saying for years. revolution to evolution. So a revolution is like a cycle between the positive and the negative. The cycles through, but it evolves, so it spirals up. So revolution, that could be a revolution, something. It's not just it's a revolutionary breakthrough. Aquarius, like something. It's something dealing with technology too, and medicine, that's going to help evolve. But it's another thing about revolution, like breakthrough, and it could happen in the court system. Vindication, like a lot of breakthroughs in that arena. Explicit, something that was only for the upper, I don't really want to say echelons, but like people that they may not have a whole lot of money, but they knew something on a higher realm. But it was like almost like they were investigating these people that had more money, had more power and prestige. Could have been from the psychic realms. Could have even been investigating journalism, that they somehow gained access to this information, a vault of some sort that they were able to unlock. But it definitely has something to do with, I hear, machinery, the environment, and medicine. Also playing out in the court realms. One thing, it could be like higher courts. I don't really feel like this is it. Like everything, of course, is going to happen in the heavenly realms first, and spiritual, then etheric, grounding into the physical. So it's not really necessarily like the spiritual courts, because that already has been adjourned. That has already been, like, the verdict has already been handed down from the higher spiritual realms. But it will manifest into the physical courts, passing of some new laws. So it's vindication, things dealing with the ecosystem and the earth, and like a revolution. It's a major revolution that's happening. The revolution is going to lead to a resolution within the world. You see here where you have like the 5 of wands and the Fool card, like a revolution. Could be a lot of going back and forth that before people can resolve issues. I also feel like it's something to do with marriage too, maybe laws about marriage, and more legalizing of rights for people, and it's all different types of people. I mean, it's a lot of change. I mean, you got animals. I feel like animals, new laws with the animals, and swamp. I hear something about swamp. New laws. It's a whole lot of new laws. So it's not really, this message is not really just for you personally. Maybe it did inspire you if you are attracted to this type of information, like, yes, animal rights, more animal rights, and more, I hear fresh vegetables and stuff like that. Then that's good. This is like a confirmation for that. It's a lot of vindication that's happening. It's been a lot of split. I hear, when I look down at this card just now, I heard a lot of spilt blood. So you know what? I feel like it's also burial remains. Look at these 2 cards. My other camera went out, but I'm gonna pull these up. Look at those burial remains, unsolved mysteries and cases. I definitely feel like Indian grounds, a lot of slave things that went unsolved. People never knew about them. They're gonna discover. I don't know how long this is gonna take. I don't know. It's so much. People that went missing. They're gonna find a lot of people's missing history of their family. They're going to find it. a lot of vindication, a lot of people a lot of spilled blood, sacrifices, like whether if they would call it a religious sacrifice or if it was just like, oh, we got to make sacrifices for the better good. Vindication, a lot of vindication. Past in the law system. People that thought they got away with things. No, he didn't get away. So that's the message for this week. I do have to end with this. Put God first. Matthew 6:33. Seek first God and everything will work out. So basically, everything has a way of working itself out. If you just stand back and just watch and just allow divine timing to work out, to unfold, everything will work itself out. Someone could be just meddling too much with other people, their business, doing a bit too much, and the divine spirit is saying, just like I see one of those film things where they're like, cut, just sit down, go take a break. You can even sit in the director's seat if you want to. Just take a break for someone and calm yourself. Allow the spirit to help. Where you have here the 5 of Wands and the Fool card, and also Matthew 6:33. Okay, so anyways, if you did enjoy this video, know it was a little different though, but give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, share if you care to do so. All of that helps the ministry grow. And I thank all of my Patreon members. I thank all of those that have donated, purchase services, all of that. If you are interested in any of that, you can always find the link down below. Yeah, so talk to you guys next time. Don't forget to check out the blog, journal prompts, sign up for our prayer list. All right, peace.